it all comes together today. So we've seen 3 forms. And don't worry, there's no more forms. We've seen them all, okay? So general form, is it very useful? No. It's pretty. It's very pretty. You are not a useful equation. I've been watching too much Thomas the Train lately. You are a very useful engine. Okay. Y equals mx plus b, is that a useful equation? Yes. Why? Why? You know the slope and you know y-intercept. Okay, is the point slope formula useful? Yeah, because you can see what? You can see one point and your slope. Okay, good. So there's 3 types of equation they can ask you. Now, whenever we're going through and making an equation, the first step we want to ask ourselves is, do we know our slope? So they say given point P, 3, -1, and Q is -2, -6, determine the equation in general form of a line passing through 2 points. Can you ever go straight to general form? No, that's the last step. We first start is, do we know our slope? The answer is no. Then we ask, how can we get it? If we have 2 points, how can we get it? If we have 2 points, right, then we use the slope formula. So that's where, so our first step is to find our slope. Always, that's our first step. And in this case, we're going to have to use our slope formula. Do you remember how to do that? Yes? Okay, we labeled one point x1, y1, and the other one x2, y2. It doesn't matter who's your first and who's your second. Okay, so now we plug it in. Y2 is equal to, let's go like this way. -6, we agree? Minus what? -1. So I'm going to put that in brackets because we're subtracting a negative, divided by -2 minus 3. Okay, -6 subtract a -1. What happens if we subtract a negative? Add a positive. So -6 plus 1 is actually -5. What's -2 minus -3? -5. So what does that equal? 1. Positive 1. Good. Okay, so now that we found our slope, the next question we ask ourselves is, do we know our y-intercept? No, we don't. So can you use mx plus b? No, we have to use point slope formula. Oops, I'm going to erase this. Y minus, because we don't know our y-intercept, but we know a point, we have to use point slope. Don't know y-intercept, but we know point, so we're going to use point slope formula. We can only use mx plus b if we knew our y-intercept. How would I know if one of my points was a y-intercept? Yes, x would have to be 0. It would be 0, comma, number. Then it would be the y-intercept because x is 0. We can't even really see that. Okay, if it's 0, comma, number, then you know your y-intercept, and when x is 0. But these is x 0. No. Okay, does it matter which point we're going to use? No, it doesn't matter which one. I'm going to use the first because it's already labeled x1, y1, and there's less negatives, so it's easier. So let's use that one. Y minus what? -1. Can we write it as +1? Yeah, let's go write it to +1 because you're subtracting -1. Y plus 1 equals my slope of 1 times x minus 3. All right, so now that we actually have an equation, we can go and actually change it to general form. What would be my first step? Yeah? Yeah, get rid of the brackets. Now, if we multiply everything by 1, does it change? No. but we can get rid of those brackets. Y plus 1 equals x minus 3. Now what? Subtract y, want everything to one side. Mr. Little describes it as a party. And you want everyone's allowed to come to the party except for children. That would be fractions. Little people, little numbers. Okay, so subtract y. Should we also subtract the 1? If we do that all at once. Okay, we want one side equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract the 1 too. I get 0 equals x, and then minus y, negative 3 minus 1, minus 4. Is that okay? Yes. We can't have decimal or fractions in general form, and we like the a value or the coefficient of x to be positive, and we've met all those criteria. There it is. Okay? Lots of work though, hey? Okay, let's try another one. Determine the equation in general form of a line that passes through point 50 and is perpendicular to the line with equation 3x minus 5 plus 17 equals 0. Whenever we're making an equation, what's our first step? Slope. What key word is going to help me find slope? Perpendicular. Okay, remember when we ever hear the words parallel or perpendicular, they're indirectly telling us the slope. So, can we take our perpendicular equation and find the slope of that line? Do we know what it is just by looking at it? No, because we are perpendicular to this line. What do we have to do? Get the y by itself. First step. You're going to be using this stuff all the way into calculus. It's crazy, so it's really important. What would you like to do? Yeah, let's move the y instead of moving the x and the 17. Less work. I like less work. I don't know about you. We're left with 3x. This is gone. Plus 17 equals 5y. And then divide everybody by 5. Good. So our equation is 3 over 5x plus 17 over 5. Uh-oh. Wait for it. Really, my computer needs restarting. Uh-oh. Ah, there you go. Equals y. And you can put the y on the left or the right, it doesn't matter. Okay, so what if the slope here is 3 over 5? What's our slope? The perpendicular. Negative 5 over 3. Yes. Negative 5 over 3. Okay, so that's our first step. So after we get the slope, what do we ask ourselves? Do I know the y-intercept? Do we know the y-intercept? No. Okay, 5, 0, is that a y-intercept? No, what is it? It's an x-intercept. So because we don't know the y-intercept, what formula do we have to use? Slope point. You have two options. If the answer is yes, you know your y-intercept. It's y equals mx plus b. If the answer is no, we always use point slope. Every time, all the time. Okay, so what point are we plugging in? 5 and 0. Y minus. Good. X1, Y1. So 5, Y minus 0 equals, our M value is negative 5 over 3 times X minus 5. Yay. Okay, what form do we want to make our equation? Now we can look at that. General, hooray. Such a pain in the butt, isn't it? Okay. Lots of steps in these things. So let's get rid of those brackets. Y minus 0 is just y equals negative 5/3 times x. Is negative 5/3 x. What is negative 5/3 times negative 5? Yeah, Michaela. Good. Plus 25 over 3. Remember when we multiply fractions, we go straight across? So we're multiplying negative 5 over 3 times negative 5 over 1 is really what we're doing. And we go straight across. So we get plus 25 over 3. Okay, general form. Right, Mr. Little calls these kids, those little guys, yeah. So we want to multiply everybody by 3. We want to get rid of the fraction. We're not allowed to have fractions. So let's multiply everybody by 3, because that's the lowest common denominator. Good? Good, Dad? Yeah? Okay. 3 times y? 3y. What's 3 times negative 5/3? Negative 5. The 3's cancel here. We're going to cancel there. So we have negative 5x plus 25. What's our next step? Move the y. Now you could have moved the y first and then multiplied by everything by 3. That would have been fine as well. Okay? I like to get rid of the fraction first, but that's just me. So let's subtract 3y over. We get 0 equals negative 5x minus 3y plus 25. Are we good? No. What do we have to do? Divide everything by negative 1, or essentially what we're doing, switch all the sides. So negative 5x becomes plus 5x, negative 3y becomes plus 3y, and a positive 25, negative 25. Now we are done. Beautiful. That wasn't so bad, was it? It's long, hey? But it's really, once you get the steps down, it's really not too bad. Okay, let's turn the page. Are you ready to try one on your own? Maybe? We could do it together if you must, if you insist. Okay, find the equation in general form of the line perpendicular to the line. Again, when you hear the word perpendicular, what should you think? Indirectly, that's going to give me my slope. That's where the slope's going to come from. And with the same x-intercept as x minus 2y minus 12 equals 0. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to find the slope. Do the first step. Find the slope. And we're going to get that because we are perpendicular to 5x minus 7y minus 10 equals 0. Okay, you should have had 5 over 7x minus 10 over 7 equals y. So the slope of this line is? This line is 5 over 7, so what's our slope? Negative 7 over 5. Good, that's our slope. What would be the next step to this equation? Do we know the y-intercept? No, but they do tell us what? The x-intercept. Are they indirectly giving us a point then? Yeah, indirectly. How do we get that point? What happens at the x-intercept? At the x-intercept, y is 0. So can we sub in y is 0 and find x? Sure. So we need to know our point. We don't know the y-intercept. We're going to get another point. Let's sub in y is 0 and find what this x-intercept of this line is, because our line also has that same x-intercept. Okay, x minus 2 times 0 minus 12. Well, negative 2 times 0 is just 0. So we're left with x minus 12 equals 0, or x equals 12. Add 12 to the other side. So that's the point. 12, 0. So now that I know a point, what formula are we going to use? Slope point. Okay, go ahead, plug it in, and I'd like you to make it in general form. Go from, do the rest from here. Times everybody by 5. You get 5y equals negative 7x plus 84. Oh, come on, computer. It's time for a restart. Was it doing this yesterday? Freezing on you? I must need a restart. Just gotta wait for it. Sorry, guys. And then what are we gonna do next? Subtract the 5y. Oh, weird. So weird. 0 equals negative 7x minus 5y plus 84. Divide everybody by negative 1. 7x plus 5y minus 84. Okay? So this is a very different question. So they're always going to give you a way to get your slope, and then B, they're always going to a way to get a point. Sometimes that point is the y-intercept. Often it's not. So you need two things to make a line always. A point, your slope, and a point. Or 2 points, which you can get your slope from, right? So in these steps, we're always looking for a slope, and then we're looking for a point. And we always hope that that point is y-intercept, but it's not always. Okay, let's move on to lesson 6. So can you turn over quickly to lesson 6? And we're going to go through this quick. How would you graph the line y equals 2x plus 4? Okay, so you'd plot the y-intercept of 4. Okay, let's do that. So plot y-intercept of 4. Then what would you do? Okay, so you know your slope is what? 2, or to make it a fraction, 2 over 1. So we're going to go up to and, guys at the back, yes. Up to right 1. Okay. Oops, that's supposed to be a 1. Man, my writing today. It's hurting. What direction can you also move instead of up to right 1? Down to left 1. Good. Okay, should you connect your line? How much should you connect your line? Just to those points? All the way, right across the full graph. Okay, you always go through the whole graph. Okay, I don't want to see just your 2 points that you made connected. It should be through the whole graph. Edge to edge, okay? Okay, how would you plot the graph? Is everyone done? Yeah? Do you need rulers or are you okay? Just roughly sketch it. How would we plot this graph? Y minus 2 equals 2 times x plus 1. Yeah, Jash? Okay, so we know the point, because this is point slope formula. This has the point. You said negative 1, positive 2. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to plot the point negative 1, 2. Here's my x1. Well, it's minus, right? X minus x1 minus y1. So the point was negative 1, positive 2. Negative 1, positive 2. And then what are we going to do after that? Slope, which is 2 over 1. Guess what? Is it the same line? Yeah, what's wrong? What's wrong? Oh. Let's try this again. Sorry. Our x is negative 1. Wait, what's wrong? Oh, I just plotted it wrong? X is negative 1, y is positive 2. Did I not do that? Oh, Weird. Oops. Thank you. Thanks, Josh. Okay, so -1, +2, and then we use our slope of 2. Yeah, that's better. And then connect our line. This is why it's good to use a ruler. Let's get lines that look like this. That's not so bad. It's not great though. What if I gave you this equation? How would you plot it? 2x minus y plus 4. You don't. You have to change it. Okay, change it to what? To y equals mx plus b. The equation was 2x minus y plus 4 equals 0. So then what do we do? Add y. Y equals 2x plus 4. And then you know your y-intercept and your slope. Okay, is it the same line again? Yes, okay, so let's just leave it at that. Turn the page really quickly. We might be able to move on really quick. Like, how would you match the graphs to the equations? What would we have to do? Yeah, the easiest thing to do is change them all to... Hey guys, are you still with me? No? You're gone? I've lost you all? Hey, do you want to try this question or do you want to start with your homework? You guys feel like you're ready. You could do this question on your own. You could match these graphs. Okay, let's do 1. Let's do equation 1. Let's do 1. Okay, so equation 1, how do I get y by itself? Add y. So what is the equation? Y equals 2x plus 3. Okay, which graph has that? Do they all have a y-intercept of 3? They kind of do, I think. All except C. Okay, which one of these graphs then would it be? Could it be A? What's wrong with graph A, Manraj? What's wrong with graph A? If you're paying attention, you'll know. You don't know, so you need to pay attention, please, okay? So, what's wrong? Can somebody tell me what's wrong with graph A? Yes. It's a negative slope. Is our slope negative? No, it's +2. Okay, graph B, does it have a slope of a +2? What is it? Up 1, right 2. What's the slope here? A half. Okay, so then C, could it be C? No, the y-intercept is in +3. Does this one slope, is this a slope of 2? Yes, up 2, right 1. So equation 1 is graph D. Okay, so once you change it to y equals mx plus b, use your slope and y-intercept. We're good? Okay, so what is the homework?